Boys, am I excited! This is the Metaphos support has officially arrived, and I am really excited. I actually already spoiled myself. I read the Link Monster because they were already being a guy on Facebook in the Zodiac Dose was already translating these cards, but YG organization has the official translation. So let's just jump right into it because I am so excited. Metaphos is one of my favorite Pendulum decks, and I will definitely be playing this. I think regardless of the support is good or not. Let's just jump right into the first card here. We have Metaphos Melcaster. It's a Fire Psychic Pendulum effect monster with 2,000 attack and 2,500 defense. It's a scale of 1. The Pendulum effect is once per turn. Only one effect. Once per turn, you can target one face-up card you control, destroy it, and if you do, set one Metaphos spell or trap directly from your deck. So the same as the other Metaphos cards, I'm pretty sure that's what the other effect monster is going to entail as well, so we're not going to really focus too much on the Pendulum effect. This card is an effect monster, which definitely breaks the formula of what Metaphos is normally used for, but let's just jump right into this effect, and let's read it. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can add one face-up Metaphos Pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand, except this card, but it cannot be activated. But you cannot activate a card with that name in your Pendulum Zone for the rest of the turn. So it's kind of a mixture of Astrogast Sorcerer it's kind of like a mixture of mixture of Astrogast Sorcerer and Isolde, where you would add the Metaphos monster from your extra deck to your hand, and then you couldn't be able to activate the card for the rest of the turn, which is fine. There are cards that you probably would want in your hand for later anyway. For example, you probably don't really want to summon Steelman anyway, so you're just gonna have it as a high skill or a low skill. You can still summon the monster, you just can't activate the card in your Pendulum Zone for the rest of your turn. So it might actually push your plays a little bit. This card also allows you to make your rank 7 plays a little bit more efficiently, kind of like what Astrogast Sorcerer did. I'm really excited. This card is actually not that bad. I'm not gonna lie to you. This next card here is a level 9. Well, actually no, it's not level 9. It looks like it's level 7. This card's level 7. This is a mistranslation. This is definitely a level 7 monster. They would never really print a level 9 monster and break the formula Metaphos as it is right now. But let's just jump right into this monster's effect. Also, this card has 2,900 attack. This card's level 9. This card is level 9. The card that we're talking about, this is Melcaster. This is not Melcaster. This is somebody else. This is Vanisher. So this is a little bit flip-flop. So this needs to be swapped with the effect. But we're gonna go over it anyway. This is Metaphos, the Vanquisher. It's a level 9 psychic pendulum effect monster with 2,900 attack, 1,900 defense. It's a pendulum scale of 1. The effect is, like I said, the rest of the. Actually, no, this is a different effect. If you control, if a monster you control is destroyed by card effect, you can add one Metaphos monster from your graveyard to your hand, Metaphos card from your graveyard to your hand, except Vanisher. That's actually pretty interesting. Sometimes your Metaphos get sent to the graveyard because you're playing stuff like Painful Decision, or they just get removed because you exceed with them, or stuff like that. Especially if you're playing a rank 7 engine, which you're definitely gonna be playing with the Melcaster. Making it a lot easier to recycle your level 7s and then summon them for basically free because you're pendulum summoning, let's be real here. It's quite a good effect for sure. Also, it adds your trap cards back, which you kind of want. Combination is still pretty good, and counter is extremely good. Also, the new spell card, which I've already read, it's really good as well. And you kind of want to recycle that card too. But let's jump into the monster effect, because there's 2 of them here. The first effect is you can target 2 face-up cards you control, including a Metaphos monster card, destroy them, and if you do, special summon this card from your hand. It's pretty easy to do. It's kind of like an extender in a way. You basically just get your advantage off whatever Metaphos monsters you destroy. It even includes a Metaphos card, so you could just destroy combination and then get an additional search for this card's special summon. So it's even less of a neg than you would expect. You can also destroy another card on the field, which it could be like Purple Poison, which was a pretty common tech back in the day when Metaphos had Astrograph and was playing with that card. It's certainly a viable effect. The second effect is if this card is special summoned by a Metaphos card effect, you can target one monster your opponent controls in their graveyard and banish it. That gives them a lot. Actually, that's actually pretty insane. Removing a resource from your opponent is pretty good. It also targets a monster they control, so it's not just in their graveyard. So you could this is also straight up removal. That's actually pretty nuts. It's pretty good. We have a fusion here. This is Metaphos Astley's. I'm going to call it Astley's. I'm not sure how you really pronounce that. It's a fire psychic fusion pendulum effect monster that's a scale of 8. Level 7, 2500 attack, 2000 defense. The pendulum effect is if a face-up Metaphos cards you control is destroyed by a card effect, you can target one face-up card on the field and then destroy it. So you're basically getting premium advantage from destroying cards on the field that you would already be doing stuff that you're already be doing. Unfortunately, it does target, but I guess that's really fine. You target like I guess your gold drivers and stuff, and then you just you slam into your opponent a lot with it. You also can destroy like your combinations again. It's just all synergizes back to what it was originally doing. The fusion materials is one Metaphos monster and one fusion monster. Really interesting. This card opens a lot for stuff like super polymerization. I know there's not a lot of super polymerizations being run right now, but Dragoons is a card, and people are playing Dragoons quite frequently. So this card could very well be a way to out it. You play your super polymerization, you get rid of one of your Metaphos monsters, you take their Dragoons, and then you make a nice monster on top of it. It seems pretty good to me. The first effect is if this card is special summoned from the extra deck, you can target one card your opponent controls, shuffle 2 face-up pendulum monsters from your extra deck into the main deck, and if you do, destroy that target, giving you a bit of advantage from your pendulum monsters being sent to the extra deck when they're destroyed. Definitely a really good thing here. It's also just face-up pendulum monsters, so this card also has some added advantage if you're playing this card in and stuff like Pendulum Magicians or any other pendulum-based deck. The second effect is if this card is in the monster zone, is destroyed, you can place this in the pendulum zone. It's kind of, I think most of the pendulum fusion monsters do this sort of thing where they just put themselves in the monster zone or the pendulum zone, and then you could just do that. You can use them as materials. It's pretty good. It's not hard to summon at all. It makes super polymerization a nice side deck tech for the people playing Dragoons, because now you could just get rid of one of your cards and then you just start slurp up their Dragoons. It's pretty nice. We have the Link monster, which requires 2 Metaphos monsters. It has only one effect, and this effect is actually not that bad. It's a fire psychic Link effect monster, Link 2, 2000 attack. With the links are left and right. Not really that favorable in stats, but there are, I guess, really good cards you could play with this to make that not much more tolerable. The first and only effect is if this card is sent to the monster zone to the graveyard by a card effect, you can activate one of these effects. It doesn't really matter how it's sent there. It just has to be destroyed. It has to be sent to the graveyard by a card effect. It has to be sent by the graveyard, which is kind of an interesting thing. It's kind of a bad thing, actually. Now that I think about it, it's a little worse than I thought it would be. Sending this card to the graveyard, if it was just sent anywhere, or if it was just like destroyed or whatever, it would be better. But it's fine. Target one Metaphos monster you control, equip this card to it as an equip spell, then give that card 1000 attack. You don't care about this effect. I don't care about this effect. The second effect is way better. You target one Metaphos monster you control, destroy it, and if you do, special summon this card. So in the midst of your combo, you can destroy. If this card sends to the graveyard, because you're gonna pop it with your own Metaphos card, you get to summon it for free by sending another Metaphos monster, which does synergize anywhere with itself. It's pretty good as an extender. And here we go. We have the new fusion spell card. This is Metaphos Fusion. It's a normal spell. You can activate this card once with this card's name once per turn. Fusion summon one Metaphos fusion monster from your extra deck using up to one monster from each of your using up to one monster each from your hand, field, and or among your face-up pendulum monsters in your extra deck as fusion material. So at least one of them has to be on the hand and field, but you can also use your monsters in the pendulum monster zone as materials. I don't know how this is going to really be worded. I think this is going to be like if you target a monster in the pendulum zone, it just stays there, or a pendulum monster in your extra deck, it stays there, and then it's just basically mitigating some of the cost of a regular fusion summon. It's really interesting how that works. So overall, I think this is a nice batch of cards. I'm not sure if this is all that we're going to get from these 4 cards in terms of Metaphos support, but I'm really, really hopeful for this. I'm not sure if it brings the deck into tier 1 status. There's still a lot of things that the deck needs. It needs Electromite first and foremost. And maybe some extra support in the way of negations, though you could just play like, Cleveland Scout, and you could play like your Jagan the Spiritualist, you could play like your old school stuff. Maybe there's a way that you can actually abuse Needle Fiber and Dragoons in this deck. I'm not entirely sure how you can do that. Maybe you guys can help me out in the comment section down below. I will definitely really be looking forward to looking at some premature deck builds with this deck. I kind of like I really like the concept of Metaphos, and I really want to see them succeed because it's my favorite Pendulum deck. And I think these cards are really cool. The Fusion is really good. And I think both of these monsters are pretty nice as well. I think you definitely play at least maybe 1 to 2 copies of this card, and maybe definitely 3 copies of Melcaster. But anyway, guys, tell me what you guys think about this support. Let me know if you guys think this is enough to push the deck into at least a little bit of a better status than what it currently is, which is currently not good at all. I'll see you guys in the next video. This has been All Things Entertaining, signing out.